What's going on, everybody? A little bit of a different style show today as we have a very, very special guest. Best known for his role as Vito from The Sopranos, Joseph Gannascoli joins me on the podcast today. Joe, how are you doing?
What's happening, pal?
All right, we're going to do some Soprano stuff. We're going to do some New York Giants stuff. Joe is a huge New York Giants fan, very excited about the upcoming season, as we all should be. There should be no negative Giants fans out there. I'm hoping that there isn't. Probably the small 1%. But, Joe, going to start off with some good Soprano stuff. Get you right off the bat. Your character, Vito, right? He went through one of the most unexpected storylines, one of the most layered storylines in the show. How much input did you have in kind of shaping the arc of the character Vito?
Well, it was my idea, and from a book I was reading, um, which I thought was interesting for a mob show, and certainly a challenge.
Yeah.
And I wanted to prove to myself, because I'm a self-taught actor, never really went formally for acting lessons or classes. So I wanted to prove to myself in the cast I could act. Playing a wise guy growing up in Brooklyn was kind of easy.
Yeah.
So, just like my cooking, I'm a chef. I'm self-taught. I didn't learn Italian because I grew up, Italian. I grew up learning French, lived in New Orleans. So I always try to, broaden my repertoire, whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. At the time, so The Sopranos took place late '90s, mid '90s. Very groundbreaking for your character at that time. So, what was the general reaction that you got, if you got, from the fan base or from friends about the character?
I think it added probably '05. Social media wasn't what it is now. And, I get a lot of, jerk offs and obnoxious, everybody trolls.
Yeah.
Some are nice, some are respectful, some are douchebags. So I could curse, right?
Yeah, of course. Go.
Yeah. So either I tell them to go fuck their mother, or I'll just delete them, and then block them. I mean, I just tell them to go fuck their mother, and then I'll block them. Or sometimes I don't even bother. But, um, you know, real people will say, that was great acting. I don't want to say it was great acting, but, I did it to show I can act. So that's, and in the neighborhood, man, it was my friends that I had to worry about the reaction. You know what I mean? Because they fucking break balls like nobody else.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
I won't expect
Um,
anything less from the friends.
right. And then there's real guys in the neighborhood, and they were like, looking at me funny. But my standard line is, are you really gay? I mean, I want to say the wise guy, but are you really gay? I go ask your sister.
And their typical response after that is probably
Uh,
no response at that point. Right?
yeah, or I have that, or I'll say no, but my boyfriend is.
Um, just something from the background, because The Sopranos is definitely known for the chemistry of the cast, right? We saw that, or any fan saw that from the outside, just looking in, the chemistry of all the actors and actresses together on scene. Is there a moment that sticks out to you that happened during filming or any time that you guys would hang out outside of shooting that sticks out as a core memory for you involving anybody in the cast?
Well, I
That
would
you're
say
allowed
that
to
most of
that
the
you're allowed to say on screen.
I would say most of the cast came to my wedding,
Okay.
and I believe that's the only wedding that they all assembled during the whole 7, 8 years that it was on.
Oh wow.
They all had a great time. They drank, they sang, they danced, they passed the mic around, they said nice things. So that was pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. And you said that was the only wedding that everybody was able to get together with?
Yeah, I don't recall anybody else really getting married during the season.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
As a fan, like one of the one of the scenes that I saw was the Bobby Bacala scene where he comes out in the hunting attire, and apparently there was a big time blooper where he was coming out in either no pants or something where he was coming out in just underwear, and Gandolfini was absolutely losing his mind. Is there a actor that was on the show that you had kind of trouble filming scenes with because you guys couldn't keep straight faces a lot of the time?
Well, first of all, with that scene with Bacala, he
Yeah,
kept coming out and he comes in through the, and I guess he comes into the kitchen.
yeah.
So one time he had I think a big dildo hat on. The other time he came in with like Rastafarian, you know, what do you call that? That the long dreadlocks. So those reactions he came in with were real,
Yeah.
and it was pretty funny. Um, I had one scene. I mean, I couldn't keep a straight face. I don't know why, but I just couldn't get through it. It's when Silvio is acting boss. He's on the toilet. I enter the bed. Oh, Walnuts is in the bathroom. I enter the bathroom, and I'm just telling him about the mayhem. He got kicked in the balls, and I think there's like a big score in there, like 300,000. I got a big piece coming, and he says, "Yeah, I want my piece," and he says, "Well, I'll have your 50 or whatever." And I go, "50? I cased that joint myself. What are you talking about?" And he says, "Have a donut. You're delirious." And then I make a move toward him, and he goes, "Back up, Bluto." And so it was hard. I just, two funny things. I just couldn't keep a straight face.
I'll get one more Sopranos question. I was always curious about the Gino character when you were in the bakery for that scene. Was supposed to be a one-time shoot for that character, and they just maybe liked you so much they completely rewrote you into the show, or is that something different?
You know, I don't know how and why. I mean, thank God they did. A couple of lines. So I had like a great acting scene.
Hmm.
I think they just needed a fat bastard to put in the, every mob has a fat bastard. So, and they brought me back as Vito, which was pretty cool.
All right, cool.
So,
Thank you. Yeah.
well, I just want to say I went from like 3 lines into like a groundbreaking, iconic character on the greatest show ever. So I am blessed and thankful, and but I hustled and I made my own breaks, and that's all part of maybe God made that. I'm not overly religious,
Hmm.
but you know, changed my life. So here I am.
Changed a lot of people's life. I would assume that a character like that probably made it a little bit easier for people to have their own journey, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about everybody else. I listen. It made a name for a lot of people. Like I said, it was like being on the 27 Yankees or the 85 Bears, or you know, the '06 Giants. 18-1. You're on that team. Something special.
Good segue as we will get into our New York football giants, who have been, for the most part, probably the worst team alongside the Jets in football over the past decade, right? We've seen two playoff appearances in 2016 and 2022 under the Daniel Jones led year with Dable. And we've completely gutted the entire coaching staff aside from the general manager, Joe Shane. What are your overall thoughts right now and feeling heading into this season as we hired one of the better head coaches over the last couple of decades, John Harbaugh?
Well, let's think about that. I mean, I was trying to think, what's the big name coach that they maybe have hired, right? Dan Reeves, maybe? I mean, a lot of them were assistant coaches. Coughlin came from the Jacksonville, but he was with the Giants. I don't know if we ever had like, a John Harbaugh. I wouldn't say that, he's like a Bill Walsh or to think we had Lombardi, Landry, and Belichick in our fucking grasp.
Amazing.
But, it is what it is. So, I mean, after Judge's press conference, you thought like, this guy is the guy, And, we got offensive guru and Pat Shermer. And then we got, a young wonderkind and Ben McAdoo, who, by the way, he was a tight ends coach. He wanted Mahomes.
He did.
So I try not to get too crazy excited, because, as Giants fans, we've been down that road before. But he's doing everything right. He did really gut the whole organization from trainer to, guys that have been there a long, long time. So I'm glad he kept Shane. I like Shane. I don't want to see anybody get bounced. Well, some deserve it, So he had a great draft. We've had great drafts before, maybe not so great, but we thought they were great. And so they fizzle out. There's always injuries. So I'm outside of my car so I can smoke, and it's raining. So if you hear raindrops, it is what it is. So I'm always, if you're a Giant fan, like we've seen this happen before, so let's just see. And I don't want a 1-year playoff. Man, I want to be consistent. Like, the Steelers are always in it. They don't make long runs some of the time, but they're always good. They're always competitive. That's what I want.
Yeah, and it's what this team's basically been missing outside of those 2 playoff appearances. We thought we had something in Dable. We thought we had something in McAdoo those first couple of years, but obviously that fizzled out and everything happened the way it happened. Speaking about the draft, we just had the draft. Arvell Reese fell to number 5 to the Giants as they try and build up that defense a little more. They got Francis Maui-Noah, the big tackle out of Miami. Were you happy with the Giants draft overall this past Thursday and Friday?
I was in Chicago, and so it was on TV. It was in a restaurant. I'm watching it. I didn't think of Reese was going to be there. I was concentrated on Styles. I said it's going to be Styles or Downs like the rest of the world, right? But the one thing about the draft, you can't really tell. And then we had a shot at Downs, and Dallas took him. Hope it doesn't burn him. But, this is the Bible, right?
There it is. Perfect.
Yeah, I get it every year. And that's really for the later rounds, the guys that they reach for. Some are in it, some are not. And then the undrafted free agents, it's so well done. I can't wait for it every year. So, yeah, I mean, on their board, he was the best defensive guy. Or maybe Downs was, athlete. But Reese, and then the Hawaiian. How do you say his last name? I haven't gotten
Maui-Noah.
Maui Noah,
Yeah.
like Maui Noah. So those were too good. I mean, I guess, yeah. And then we came up with, we got, it's happened before. I know it has. Like someone jumped in front of us or took the guy we wanted. Doug Martin comes to mind. It's happened a few times. I'm sure it happens to a lot of teams. I did want Mike Washington, but Colton Hood maybe could have been a first rounder. We got a third around, which was
Malachi Fields.
Right. And I love big receivers. I'm a big, that's why I like Hodgins. That's why I like what was his name? It's a couple of good games too. I like a 6'5", 6'6" receiver.
He's got like
You
that
know?
Plexico Burris kind of build to him, right? With the big hands, the 6'4", 6'5" frame, goes up
Yeah,
and catches everything like that. The kid Fields, he's gonna give the guys like Slayton a run for their money for their spot on the team.
yeah. Well, Slayton and maybe Hodgins. You know, glad we got Hodgins back. I never wanted to get rid of him. It's funny, you see these guys that we cut that you wonder like where they are, and then they go on and have, you know, David Sills, I think, is with the Falcons.
Yeah, he had a couple big
Uh,
games last year.
he was sticking around, always up and down, always with the practice squad.
Yeah,
Um, you know, through the years we've had guys, but that again, that must happen with you know, a lot of players. So I like the tall receiver, strong hands. I don't think those 6'4", 6'5" guys are really burners.
no,
But he can get downfield, and again, going against an undersized back, go up and get it when you're in close. Um, I love that. So, you know, maybe he's the next Calvin Johnson. Maybe.
I mean, from your lips to God's ears, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So I'm a big fan of the tall receivers.
all right, so one guy I think we're gonna differ on because I think we spoke about this already. Speaking of wide receivers, there is a good chance there is a good chance a reunion with Odell Beckham Jr. could be on his way. You don't want him anywhere near this team.
You know, these guys, they act up, right? You got your Ocho Cinco. You got your, who's the ex on Dallas?
We had Owens was a big talker, To,
Theo, and then the ex on the Dallas, not
Des Bryant.
as Bryant. They talk, and next thing you know, they're 30, 35 injuries. They get bounced around. They miss their opportunity. And so it was typical. Odell could have been one of the great ones.
Easily. He was on
When
pace.
he hit this, when he hit the seam, there was no catching him. He had a fifth gear. It was beautiful to watch. I hated that one-handed catch, as his
Yeah,
you know, because we lost that game,
I was
and
there. It was a shame.
you, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
Uh, so going on the boat, you know, the thing with the Josh Norman, um, you know, fighting with the kicking net and I was such stupid stuff. And now he's 33 and he's probably been humbled. Although he would have had a big Super Bowl had he not got hurt. He
Yeah.
was having a good, really good game. But these guys learn the hard way. So he's going to come on, and maybe he should do, you know, talking around the NFL. Don't do what I did, because before you know it, it's over. You hurt or you get bounced around and it's over. So I don't want him. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I think it's like 50-50 amongst the fan base right now. Like a lot of people kind of have that nostalgic feeling, I would assume, that they want the guy back just to kind of finish his career here. And I mean, at the end of the day, if he does sign here and if he's not contributing, then you cut him. And if he's
He fucked us.
and he had that
He
little
fucked
speech
us.
on Eli Manning before we traded him to Cleveland. He said a lot of bad things about Eli before we sent him to Cleveland. So
He
I
fucked
understand.
us. You know, yeah, what he did, he could have been. And we hit a home run with that pick. And yeah, it was a bit of taste. And so, I mean, how many receivers are we going to have in the room, right? You know, we got Austin. Either Hodgins goes or Slayton. And I always liked Slayton, but the drops were getting to me last year.
Yeah, it was
Um,
rough to watch because he was very consistent for a fifth round pick. I mean, we got a lot out of him, but last year was just a little. He just underperformed.
yeah, so I don't know. I think they're being courteous to him, and you know, not giving him the brush. But you know, sorry.
I just think he can contribute more, like more than a guy like Jalen Hyatt at this point. Like I think we could get a little more out of Odell.
I don't get Jalen Hyatt. I swear I don't get it.
I don't know either.
They throw short little turn-ins. I mean, keep throwing. Let them at least stretch the defense. You overthrow him, you just miss him. He catches it, he drops it. It keeps the defense honest. I mean, it was like horrible what they how they used him, and they keep carrying him. And he keeps not getting into the game, and when he does, it's a little curls or something. I don't get it.
No.
So
So I mean, classic Giant stuff, right? You've seen all 4 Super Bowls at this point. Do you have a favorite out of the 4?
well, the first is always the best,
Yeah.
because in my life, like 70, 71, 72, it's kind of like the Yankees. Those were the bad years. And we started turning around with maybe Perkins and then McVay, and then we were like there, and then we got Parcells, and then, it took a while to get there. But so the first is great. The 20 to 19 was masterful. But the 06, I had like 100 people at my house. Fox News was here. It was just phenomenal run. It was a phenomenal run. So I would say 06, which back to Sopranos for a second. People always ask me, who was your favorite actor to work with? And I tell them, Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, the poker.
I mean, the Strahan was supposed to do that. And I was so psyched, come to the studio, and I was like, Strahan here yet? Strahan? Oh, he's not doing it. I go, what? I said, oh, man. I'm walking away, and the woman says, oh, a guy named LT is doing it. I went, excuse me? LT? I mean, I have 3 idols: Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, Lawrence Taylor. Whatever he did off the field is, it's what he's got to live with. On the field, it was like no better. And to hear him telling story, I was sitting there, I don't know how long, 4 hours. He sent his assistant out to give me 2 footballs he signed, telling stories in between takes. I was like, I'm like, this can't be happening. This is like nothing better than this.
Had to be
So,
like
and then
hard to
Muhammad
film,
Ali,
right?
what's that?
Had to be like hard to film because you just kind of you want to shoot, but you also want to talk to LT the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got a great picture with him. I was just happy listening to him. So Lawrence of the Meadowlands.
Amazing. Yeah, so I mean, it was just voted. I don't know if you saw this list. If not, I'll send it to you. The hardest Super Bowl runs of all time, and the Giants are the 2007 Giants are ranked number 1 as the hardest of all time, going through Tampa, Dallas, Green Bay in the what was it negative 30 degrees that in Green Bay, and then the Patriots, and then the 2011 run was the second hardest of all time. So we've seen our share of not easy runs from this franchise.
They came back with a chip on their shoulder, the old, and that's when Plaxico shot himself.
That was that team that followed. They should have been a dynasty, I think. If Burris
Yeah.
doesn't do that to himself, that team was what,
Yep.
11-1 at the time, and it was
They were sailing, and I think they lost to Cleveland.
yeah on
They
Monday
were
Night Football.
sailing, and I was sick about it. Sick. They did have a chip, and I can't hold it against Plaxico because he was huge in that Green Bay game.
Oh, he was
I
outstanding.
mean, 10, 11 catches. That was another.
Weather.
Oh my God! I mean, tough as nails. Actually met him at one of the trade shows for the NFL. He was a gentleman. Yeah, because I kind of like had an NFL product came up with.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing a lot of NFL shows, and I think one year Michael Irvin came into the booth. They said, "Oh, you're football. Aren't you going to take with Irvin a picture with Irvin?" I go, "I don't even want to look at him. I'm not going near him." Yeah.
Did you play any sports growing up, or high school, or anything like that?
Baseball and hockey.
Baseball. Okay.
You know, baseball and hockey. Um, Very little football.
Yeah.
Definitely no basketball. Yeah. So I was a big Yankee Giant fan. Rangers and Knicks. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna go my cigar lounge and go watch the Knicks. Which I like them. I want to see them win. I just the fucking fans. The celebs at the first row. There's just some hardcore fans, but most of them, seen and be seen. I can't take Stilla. I know Spike's a hardcore fan. Uh,
The same celebrities that you saw there when they were winning 17, 18, 19 games a year, those are the ones that you appreciate. The
yeah,
ones that show up as the celebrities start to advance, right? As the Knicks advance, here come more and more and more to show you them with the Knicks hat on, the Knicks t-shirt. It's
hey, you know what? I got news for you. That works against them because those visiting teams, they want to perform in front of those celebs.
Yep.
And like Reggie, going to Spike with the choke sign, it spurs them on. It spurs them on. So it works against them really most of the time, unless they're out really classing the team they're playing. Like Hawks, they probably looking ahead to Boston. I guess what is that 3-2 that series?
Yeah, Boston's trying to end it tonight.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So that'll be a good series. And we'll see. We'll see if Towns is soft like they said, or comes up. You know, they'll start to dismantle again because they're not getting over the hump. And Brunson is probably one of the old time. Was that a trade or a signing?
Free agent.
Free agent. Yeah, that'll go in one of the old time great signings in New York.
Easy, yeah. And it was one of those signings where everybody, 100% across the board, were, what the hell are the Knicks doing? What are they? Why are they giving this guy $102 million at the time? And then, he's been one of the better Knicks, especially in the playoffs, that we've ever witnessed. Do you think we ended tonight in 6 games?
Oh yeah. I think they've been. They were just trying to get up. They don't have a big guy. They have no one in the middle that really could stop Robinson and Towns, and so yeah,
Quick one on
they
the
ended
Yankees
tonight.
too. Quick one on the Yankees too. What are your early thoughts on the Yanks? 20-10, 20-11 at this point.
Uh,
Back.
Cole, I mean, the pitching has been. The kid that really didn't pitch bad. I don't know if he was tight or I was obviously nervous. His family was there.
Mm-hmm.
The kid the last night that pitched, the pitching's been phenomenal. The guy Cam, I still don't know how to say his last name.
Oh, Schlittler. Yeah, it took me a couple of months to learn.
Schlittler. That's a little tough one. He's he's good. We still got Lagrange in the AAA.
Mm-hmm.
Lombard just went up to AAA, but we're not getting anything really out of shortstop. At a third, he's got a great glove, McMahon. I think the warm weather, I definitely, Jazz is not a cold weather player. I think he was starting to hit up. He went from 30-30, now he says he's going to do 50-50. And just put a little pressure on himself.
Yeah.
The outfield is, great. I hope. Anything word on Dominguez?
I didn't hear anything new about him. I think that he's going to be day to day at this point.
Yeah. Nothing, the MRI, nothing broke.
No, I didn't see anything. No.
All right. And the catcher, position too. We got great catches, except they're all on other teams. You know,
Well, it could be worse.
so
You
all
could
the
be a Mets fan
backups.
like me. You could be a Mets fan like me.
They've been. Did they lose today?
They sure did.
Oh, they did. Yeah, 5-4. I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah, this kid, Mauricio was he is swinging like bulls, like so out of the strike zone. He's getting pulled bad. I don't know what's up with that. And another guy, Soto, he just kept his head on straight. But I mean, he's another one could have dominated in New York with that right field. He could have done stuff.
No.
Another dummy. So we'll go as far as the pitching. Still. I think the bullpen. Some guys are gonna go, some guys are gonna stay. I don't know. It's always about pitching, so we'll see. But we do have to see, man. Weathers is a great pickup. I like him. I'm excited for Spencer Jones to see what he's going to be.
Yeah, just get a little juice into the lineup, some young juice, and he's got a lot of pop. So
he's got a lot of pop. He's got a lot of strikeouts too.
That's another problem.
it's a problem in baseball.
Sure is.
So you're in hockey.
If
Devils.
I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but I would go Rangers if I had to cheer for
right.
a team.
Right. So that's why I am with the Knicks.
Yeah.
And your Yankees and of course Giants.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for the Giants. When I think of football, I think, oh man, fall, cold, 5:00, it's dark. But I look forward to the games, and it's a shame. I go every year, to camp. I got to know the few writers. I enjoy talking to Datino. He gives me his breakdown. He always has a dark horse, someone to keep an eye out for. Oh, Jack Kelly's going to be a crowd favorite.
Oh, they're going to love this guy. The fact that he fell to the 6th round is a little it's a shame for him because he definitely should have been a little bit earlier. And the reasoning, just a little bit undersized, and he had a couple of injuries to his shoulders. Other than that, the kid is just a workhorse. He's going to be the Cam Scatterbo probably on the defensive side of the football, which people are going to love.
Yeah, they're going to love him, but he's going to be some special teamer, and he might come in and then linebackers is kind of tough. I want to see the kid who got hurt, McFadden.
Oh yeah, he's back.
He's back, and then they really got a NASCAR. I'm not a big Thibodeau fan. He looks light to me. He doesn't have that kind of just thick, kind of heavy build. So you better be ultra fast. But we're gonna have some NASCAR when they put it in. I always loved Edmonds.
Yeah.
I always loved him when he was with the Bills, and Carter and Reese and Burns. Burns is a player. Burns is good, man. I love Burns. And Thibodeau, and I don't know. So that's going to be interesting. Plug up the middle.
Plenty of guys on the team. Now you look at the team from last year, right? It was Okereke and Flanagan, Foles, and all these other guys we were running in and out of the lineup. And now you got Pro Bowler Edmonds, most likely probably the best off-ball linebacker in the draft in Reese, who's already stronger than a lot of people at age 20. And then you bring back a McFadden now who's lower on the depth chart. Don't expect a lot more out of him. They improved in the secondary as well, and they improved at defensive coordinator. They improved at head coach. So at this point, I'm very excited about the direction of us right now.
Let's see what they could get out of Banks.
Well, at least at minimum, he's a good kick returner, right?
I know. Our number one is going to be a kick returner. I don't know. We got to, and I kind of like the Scottish Hammer, but he's gone, and we got the kicking game solved.
Yeah, right.
We got the long snapper. The kid Zaveda. There's going to be comp in the kicking for kicker, but that Aubrey for the Cowboys, that's a weapon. He's good for 3-4 games winning alone himself. But it is in a dome, so there's so many things to look at. This roster is going to be totally different. I did like Okereke the first year and his career before that. I guess it just went south quick. Elijah Chapman.
Chapman's good. He's good. Undrafted, clogs up the middle a little bit. Very athletic as well.
Yeah, and I always thought, man, why don't you put him more at fullback on, go 2 yards out, 3 yards out, let him just clear the way. So I hate seeing guys cut, and then I hate seeing them picked up and playing well elsewhere. Yeah. But we'll see. I like Jason Pinnock too. I was sad when we lost him. I'm glad when we got him back.
And now that you mentioned the fullback, we get one of the best ones of all time in Patrick Ricard that he brought over. I'm glad. Could you just imagine the Giants lining up in a backfield and you got Ricard back there and you got Scatterbo right behind him? It's just, it's like the old demolition days if you're a wrestling fan.
Yeah, well, I love Brandon Jacobs, man. I love 6'4", 264. You saw that shot of them on the practice field inside with Scatterbo, Dart, and Ricard.
Yeah.
Ricard looks just like huge, and that was without pads.
Like a freak. He's
Yeah.
2 times the size of Scatterbo, and that's
yeah. I said, what is guy? I don't know if Scatterbo was like further away or something. I said he looks like a kid.
Yeah.
This guy's like huge. So that's going to be fun. And listen, it all relies on Dart. So
you like Dart? You a fan of Dart?
I do. I mean, again, I like my quarterbacks a little bigger, but I don't want them running. And some guys just have like, that talent to get the ball to, the right guy. So I don't think he's going to run anymore,
Yeah, you got a coach in here now that's going to kind of hone him in and say, listen, you run when you have to run.
Yeah, listen, they come in, they want to show they got balls, they're tough. They start getting cracked, and they feel it, and the next day goes, and he's got to learn to slide, right? He's got to learn to slide.
Please, yeah.
Wilson should have taught him that playing, baseball.
Yeah. All right, Joe, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I really appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, maybe in the future, we could do another one of these when the Giants are 6-0, maybe at the time. Maybe we could start celebrating an early playoff run.
I don't do a lot of podcasts because, they're just the same questions all and out. But when I get to do sports and Giants and, everything else, I always like them. So this was fun. I enjoy it. I could talk Giants.
Yeah, of course.
All day. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. And I'll definitely be back on. You let me know. So we'll see who they're going to sign. And we got to get through camps. And, I can't wait for preseason.
Me too. Joseph Gannascoli, everybody, actor, chef, cigar lover. Enjoy the cigar, Joe, and enjoy your night. Enjoy the Knicks tonight, and thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you. I mean, I found you on Instagram, and I was like, wow, this guy's right on. I started sending it to my friends. So you got a lot of fans, pal.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, buddy. Be well. Good luck.
Joe. Thank you.
See you. Bye.